Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where we have two very special guests in the studio today.
Good morning.
Good morning. I didn't get the black memo.
You didn't? Oh, sorry. That's the only thing I've got in my closet, so.
Same.
Yeah.
I feel ya. I feel ya.
Right.
Yeah, I honestly wear a lot of black too. But yeah, so welcome. So we have two very special guests here. And you are Scott Cunningham.
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
And our good friend Paul Pollard. And you've heard Paul's name numerous times here on the show as we say horrible things about him. I'm just kidding. We do not. You don't believe that, do you?
No, I don't believe that. But
no. We were just, he's like, oh God, did she?
Whoa, hold on.
You do never know what's going to come out of my mouth. So, but no, we were talking with John Pelletier the other day when he's come in, talk about their 60s show that they did last weekend, which of course helps benefit your organization, which has blown up.
It's pretty crazy, huh?
Yes. So I guess first off, Scott, if you would tell everybody kind of, what you're up to.
Well, right now taking a break. No, we've worked with Paul forever, and basically we're an agency, a booking agency, entertainment, talent, things of that nature. So right now is a sort of a transition time of the year where your fairs and festivals kind of end up going indoor here. And sure. Down south it's ramping up, so it's never-ending cycle, but it's fun. It's a blessing.
So I've worked with these guys forever.
Yeah,
and they're the ones that bring all the cool bands to the Jackson Apple Festival and all that. So
sweet.
Yeah, and they have a very special item that they've donated to our concert charity auction, which I might be able to grab, yeah?
Absolutely. Okay. This is so cool. And then we'll get to the concert here in a little bit.
Yeah, so check this out. This is an autographed guitar by over 100 different artists. Front, side, back, all of that. And I'll let Scott tell a little bit about this and
please do so.
And how that came about.
Yeah,
yes.
How did it?
So these, every year we normally carry a guitar, all the shows that we work, and artists that we work with, and we'll take, and each of them voluntarily sign the charity guitar for us, which a lot of the time we call the RMA Star Guitar, and we like to hook up with a good agency or charity, I should say, that it can mean something for, and it's something special. And we've been friends with Paul, and Rick, the owner, has been friends with Paul for 40 years.
Long time.
How do you do that when you're only 29?
I know, it's an amazing thing. I can't explain it.
It's the craziest thing.
But we got to talking with Paul, and it's the 40th year for their charity, and we thought, it could be really special, and it means something, and it go to a great cause. And so, this guitar is one that I carried for a year and a half. And
wow,
we said, this would be great for Rock for Tots, with some of the names like Lainey Wilson, which is Entertainer of the Year, 2-time Entertainer of the Year now.
Just something like that.
Yeah, the legendary Don McLean, American Pie. There's so many names and great artists on there that something really special that somebody could have as a collecting item.
Oh my God, you've got Gunnar and Matthew Nelson.
Absolutely.
I know. These guys are great, actually.
That's awesome. Oh my God. Aaron Tippin, Shenandoah, Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I have like a whole list here. The names go on and on and on. My gosh, Lori Morgan, Kathy Mattea. Wow. This
know.
is so fun.
What a great item. Thank you guys so much for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So tell
pleasure.
us, how can somebody get their little fingers on that guitar?
So, the Rock for Tots show coming up on Friday, December the 6th in Chillicothe at the Majestic Theater. What it is it's a concert and an auction. Or is it an auction with a concert? We don't know. We don't know. So what happens is we have 10 bands that play.
Stop.
So
My brain is small. Don't make me think.
I know. A band plays, then they step in front of the curtain and they put themselves up for auction. So you can buy a band. Okay. Then we have 5 or 6 cool auction items like the guitar or an autographed something else or a washing machine or, I mean, it could be anything. We've auctioned cars, appliances, electronics, everything. You don't know. And this is Friday, December the 6th. So think about it. It's the coolest time to come and do your Christmas shopping,
Sure.
right? This would be an awesome gift for someone to hang in their restaurant or their office or their collection room.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that's what we do. So the evening rolls like that. Band auction until the end of the evening. And this year, at the end of the night, our friends, the Mods, who are celebrating 60 years as a band, they started in 1964, and they claim they were influenced by the Beatles, but I heard on the internet that the Beatles were actually influenced by them. So we're not sure.
What came first, the Mods or the Beatles?
The Mods or the Beatles, we don't know. But anyway, they're going to do a special set at the end of the night, which will cap off our 40th anniversary show. So you can buy anything at this show. And if you go, I don't know if I've got $5,000 or $10,000 for this guitar, but I do want to come and enjoy this.
Sure.
We have the entire front lobby of the Majestic is full of everything. You can buy something for $5 or $50 or $1 or whatever. It's just, there's everything there. Yeah.
Love this.
And that's what we do.
Like you said, it's a perfect time to do some Christmas shopping
Right.
in one stop. Okay, well, let's back up. Why are we doing this concert? Tell us about Rock for Tots. I mean, start from the get-go.
The get-go. Well,
because I want...
so
don't be humble here.
It was
you talk about...
1985.
The year was...
The year
1985.
was 1985. It sounds like a country song.
Yeah,
or something,
it was
doesn't it?
1980-something.
80-something. So...
Yeah, he didn't show up.
That's right, he did. What happened to that guy at the Apple Festival?
I don't know. Was that your doing?
He's still in Louisville, as far as we know. He's still broken down in
Is
Louisville.
his bus fixed yet?
No, we don't know.
Yeah, anywho.
We don't know. Mark, we hope you're okay.
Yeah,
out there.
Mark,
that's all we
if
can
you
say.
need a ride, just give us a call.
That's all you can say. So it was 1985.
It was 1987.
Our little band, Rock Candy from Waverly, Ohio, was heavily influenced by Live Aid, which happened in July of that year. And then in August, September of that year was the first Farm Aid.
Okay.
So there was this kind of music movement
Love that.
that inspired little bands like ours. And we thought, well, we could do something and maybe do it at Christmas time and help kids.
Yeah,
And
like
we
what's the
lived
need around our area?
And we lived in Pike County, and of course, a lot of need over there, and
Sure.
a lot of need everywhere. Let's just face it. And it's always good to do something. So we thought we could do a show, and we ended up doing 2 shows. We raised about $1,200, and we went to help. We said, well, what can we do with this? Let's buy toys.
Heck
What
yeah.
a great idea.
I mean, this is win-win. Like,
But
you get to pick out toys.
But then we thought, well, what good is a toy to a kid that doesn't have any food? What good is a toy to a kid that doesn't have any shoes?
True that.
So we thought, let's split this money up and let's buy food, toys, and clothing.
Okay.
And then let's deliver this on Christmas Eve when nobody knows we're coming. That's what we did. It was cool.
You are precious.
Wow.
Rockin' Santa Claus.
It was. But it was also very strange because here's these long-haired 1980
These rocker
musicians
dudes.
showing up at your doorstep on Christmas Eve, and nobody knows who we are or what we're doing. We didn't even know what we were doing, really.
Well, it can't be any creepier than a weird man coming down your chimney. I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, that's
it's
a good argument. Right
I haven't understood, never have understood that thing. But no, how did you pick the kids and how did you find the families?
So we really didn't want to do like government agency type stuff.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, who really knows the kids that need it the most? And we thought school bus drivers.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Teachers.
Yep.
Maybe a principal, right? So my neighbor, the dad of one of our very best friends, we had an awesome neighborhood group of guys, but anyway, his name was Ford Ferguson, and he ran the Parker Elementary School, which was out near Pike Lake, Pike County, one of the poorest areas. And he knew everybody. And he took us out prior to the delivery. And he'd say, now, Paul, he was from Kentucky. Now, Paul, and now this guy over here, now, he's a good guy, but he's got this job, but his wife's real sick. And they got 8 kids. And he would know everything about everybody.
Wow.
Well, that's invaluable information.
It was perfect. So we knew who they were, where they lived. We didn't know all the kids' names, but we did know girl age 5, boy age 8. So it was cool. So we wrapped and we tagged everything and did it. Yeah.
Good for you. And then you thought, oh my God, I'm onto something.
Well, here's we're very slow on the uptake. We're musicians, So the next, we did this and it was really, really special.
Yeah.
And we came around to the next year and we thought, well, man, we got to do this again. We can't not do this again. So that's just been the modus operandi for the last 40 years, really. So we just keep on doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is such a cool story. And how has it evolved over the years from you and one band, which was Rock Candy, by the way, right?
Yeah.
40th Runyon.
I know. Well, there's a story here. See, this is what happens. I told Matt over at the radio station.
I just looked down. And
I know. So I misspelled this. Let's share this with the world. Okay, on the poster it says 40th Runyon. So this just goes to show you people that you can do something for 40 years, and the one thing people notice is a misspell on your poster.
Yeah,
So
yes.
there you have it.
That's okay, buddy.
But
we love you anyway.
But anyway, correct. It's our 40th Runyon. So we're going to do a song with the band.
Awesome. So Rock Candy, there you were in 1980 something,
right,
doing this. So how have you gotten because what you have created is you can't plan this stuff out. This thing has just taken a life of its own.
Well, first of all,
run.
it's a God thing, all right?
Yeah.
It started with our band and a band called Medusa, who also played that show, and a band called Miss Rosie. So there were 3 bands, and everybody...
Those sound like 80s bands.
Well, of course, they absolutely were.
Medusa.
We couldn't be any more rock and roll, But it was great fun. So as we progressed, other bands wanted to participate, and then we thought... So here's what happened. We did the delivery on Christmas Eve for, I want to say 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And it got to the point where we were making a little more money, a little more money, a little more money. And then, so now we're delivering toys at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You're like, okay, this is
not working.
This is not.
Nobody wants... Hello?
Buy some rocker strangers.
Nobody wants
your
that.
door at 3 in the morning.
And plus, we weren't that organized and all of those things. And so we were buying a lot of these toys and things at, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was this place called Hart's Department Store and Rink's Bargain City.
I totally remember Hart's.
Yeah, so
off
we
Western
would go
Avenue.
So we would go to those places, and it would be like 3 or 4 of us and one shopping cart, and we can't even find anything in the aisles. And then here comes these organizations like the Chillicothe JCs, Special Santa. They've got 8 carts. They're all lined up. They've got shirts, and they've got clipboards, and they know what they're doing. And we're like, we should maybe just donate to them. They obviously have it together, and we obviously don't.
We're not doing so good
That's
here.
how that transpired. So Bob Neal of the real Bob Neal fame of B94, who's radio guy in Chillicothe, he was the head of that Special Santa program.
Okay.
And I said, Bob, we went to lunch at the Harvester Restaurant,
Which
at
is
which is no
now
longer
a
there.
Dina or something.
Right. So
Thank God somebody saved that building, by the way, because it is lovely. But, yes.
So we went down there. We had some French onion soup, and we had some lunch. And I said, Bob, we need some help. And he was like, yeah. And so we started donating to them.
So you teamed up.
We teamed up.
Awesome.
And then we donated to them for another 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And then Randy Winks of Street Beat, Buzz Perry got involved, and that's when things got more organized on the show side, and we started making more money, and we thought, well, let's donate some to Big Brothers, and then because they serve Ross, Jackson, Pike.
Okay,
And
yeah.
So, and we were donating to the Pike County Children's Christmas Fund. So there were 2, 3, 4, and then it expanded out from there.
I love how you have these like.
And then, as we got into that, then we got to the point where I don't want to say we've exhausted the organizations, but then we thought, well, any additional money should involve some education, because education is always a good thing, but it's also a confidence thing. It's a perspective thing. I don't know about you guys, but when you get out of high school and you go to college, just the fact of being there is the education in conjunction with what you learn.
So listen,
Right.
yes.
Yes.
I have
So-
always said college is 50-50.
Yeah.
50 figuring it out and 50
Yeah.
the book
Absolutely.
stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how we got to where we are with the education stuff. So I thought I'd add that.
Awesome. No, I love how you've got these like 80s rock bands, right? And you guys are out, bless your hearts, all probably with your long,
Oh, yeah.
hair and
All that.
the thing with your big softy hearts.
Oh, well, yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, I know. It was a lot of fun.
So, in dealing with bands and stuff like that along the way, do you find that there's some softies out there?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of image that goes along with it.
Forget
right.
that these people, it's kind of like first responders and stuff. I always say that they're like, you think they're superheroes, like they're not human beings, and it's like rock bands and all of this stuff. They're not human beings, but they really are.
Yeah, for sure. And there's some stories that, wow.
I can
that,
only imagine.
you know.
Some we could probably tell here, some we can't. I'd say.
He's got a bunch of
Probably.
those kind of stories. I mean, look at him.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe we'll
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Look at this.
We could go out for a drink sometime. And talk
Yeah.
about some of that stuff.
That's one of the things that I've always enjoyed, though, because I guess I'm the younger guy that kind of floated in with some of these guys, and I hear these stories, and it's just like, it's awesome to hear still, and you have your own, but like you hear your Paul story with the rock candy, and it's like, wow, cool. And everybody's like, back in '85, and I'm ooh, yeah. Like I was born in '88, so I'm the
I
kid
wasn't
that's
even
like,
born
ooh,
then.
that's awesome, And he was telling stories about, the guys with the radio and stuff were talking about their '88 show, and I'm like, man, that would have been awesome if I would have just been born. You know what I mean? Like,
If only my parents
if only. Right.
got
Yeah.
a little faster. Yeah.
But no, there's a whole lot of fun out there.
No, I think that's really, really cool. And how did you have you always been in a band? Or, I mean, because what you do now is not obviously
it's not
that.
really a band thing. I was for quite a while. I started really in 1985.
Okay.
So this all started, let's do the band, let's do this
Okay.
charity. And I did that for maybe 10 years or so, something
Okay.
like that. And I just got more involved with the production side of things
Yes.
and the technical side of things. And that's been more what I've been doing. But I still write songs and all those all that too.
So here's the thing, and in case our viewers don't know, if you have been to a local fair or festival, and seen any type of talent or listened to anybody on the stage, these guys have probably had their hands in it. And Paul obviously does the sound side of things now, and then you doing the booking. So that's really cool. But so these two guys sitting right here are very integral in us having entertainment wherever around here.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Because that's
Thank
cool.
you. Yeah, it's cool to be able to
But
be
no,
part of it, right?
I think a lot of people just, it's kind of like the Apple Festival or whatever. Like, it just magically appears. No one thinks how it magically appears. They don't understand, or they don't care probably how it appears, or how the sound gets done, or how the band gets booked, or whatever. But I always think that's really interesting.
Yeah, it is. And
A lot of behind the scenes stuff.
folks that live here watch this. Speaking of Apple Festival, we do a lot of events in a lot of different towns, but you guys are really blessed to have such a dedicated volunteer crew.
Oh my gosh!
Sure,
yes.
those guys are amazing.
These guys, the word amazing gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
But they are.
They really are.
I mean, they're organized, and they have the infrastructure and the equipment and the personnel and the know-how to do this. It's
They do.
a very, very cool.
And they love what they do.
Yes.
To be able to
bring it to the community, yeah.
Absolutely. You know, and a lot of people don't talk about things like that.
Sure.
Or the week that it takes to set everything up and tear it down after it's over. And
I know I can't drive into town and not think, wow, what they do with this
Like
these streets
overnight. Yeah.
It's just a different world to drive through and see actual streets and not think, oh, there's that row of stuff with the church booth and the noodles and the other thing over here and the stage
Right.
goes here.
And what is really fun and on our side of it too that a lot of people don't think about, but like the most fun of it. Yeah, it's great to have the show. It's fun. You know, everybody really enjoys it. But our part of it, when we're sitting back and we're seeing the people enjoy it.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. I mean, in the end,
for sure.
Because it's sort of a good. I mean, it's a great feeling. But you know that those people, like, they don't have to say thank you or come up and say,
No.
"Man, that was awesome." Or anything.
You see it on their
can see
faces.
it. Absolutely, and that's worth the whole day in the heat. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that
it's-
is a cool feeling when the show's about halfway done.
Yeah.
And you know it's on.
Yeah.
And it's rolling.
Like, whew.
And our end of things is like, whew, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And the people out there rocking out, it is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Total blessing.
It is. You know, and I see the same thing kind of like in the restaurant business, you know, all of the junk that you have to deal with on the daily. And yes, there's a lot of this, that, and the other. But, you know, on a Saturday night when you go out there and you look around and everybody's laughing and hopefully,
right.
but in just talking with their friends and whatever, it's like, okay, this makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's just, that's
Same
what your
feeling.
payback is,
Same
you know,
feeling.
Yes.
it's
Right.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Okay, so let's talk about this concert, which is a means to the end of us getting all of this stuff to kids that need it.
Right. Okay.
So let's talk about the concert
Sure.
on December 5th.
6. We always do it on the first Friday of
The
December.
Runyon.
Forever.
You're
We'll live in
never going to
infamy.
live that down.
No. In fact, I think I'm just going to use that word from now
The
on.
40th Runyon.
There will be no. We might just change the name of the band.
I like it.
Right.
Rock Candy 40th Runyon.
Let's do that.
Forever.
All
I like it.
Yeah,
Lives
Scott,
on.
he's
Yep.
in. All right.
Merch is already printed.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and yep,
right.
yep. Headbands, I can see it now.
Right. So we have. So the show is always on the first Friday of December. It's at the Majestic Theater. This year we're starting an hour early, so get there around 4:30 because it starts at 5 because we have 10 bands. So it's going to be a bam, 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 bam kind
Oh
of
my
evening.
gosh. And this is on a Friday, don't forget.
Friday.
And the Majestic Theater is in Chillicothe.
Chillicothe
Really
on 2nd
super
Street
cool.
with the arch.
Yeah, you can't, it says, Majestic on it.
That would be the one. Right.
I assume that the theater is attached to that arch, yes.
Right. So it's going to be fantastic, and it's going to be pretty fast. A band will
Awesome.
play. The band that just played will step out and auction themselves off So you can buy a band.
So when you
for
say
a party.
that, what is that? Okay, so
Yeah.
you're like,
They'll play a show for you later.
oh, super cool.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can buy a good and stout for a party later.
Or the Runyon Band.
Or the Runyon may or may not be available. We'll have to see on that. But yes, but it's going to be great. So we auction the band, then
Okay.
we auction 4 or 5 items like the guitar, or a car, or a who knows what we're going to have.
Are you you like really have cars and washing
Sometimes.
machines and stuff?
Sometimes.
That is insane.
And we're still taking donations. So if you're watching this out here and you go, I'd like to donate whatever, let us know through Facebook. Just
Okay.
message us through Facebook, and we'll come get it. We'll tow it out of your yard if that's what we're going to do. We'll do whatever. We've done it before. We've done a lot of stuff over the years. One guy.
I was gonna say, what's some of the fun stuff, like the funniest stuff
Well,
that's happened?
one of the funniest things that comes to mind is we literally had Lowe's donate a kitchen sink because everything but the kitchen sink, and we thought, well, let's get a kitchen sink and auction
Love
that
it.
too. So we did that. But yeah, we used to get cars all the time. I don't know, just autograph stuff from Paul McCartney and Taylor Swift and Billy Joel and Neil Young. I mean, iconic Elton John would send us stuff. Phil Collins would send us something every year.
How do you
so
make
Phil
that
Collins-
contact?
Well,
Do your people know people? Or you know people?
these guys know people.
That is awesome.
So we would send them letters and a little bit about who we are and what we do.
Okay.
And Phil Collins, for example, he's a huge snooker fan, which is English billiards, pool. And he said one time when I was a kid, my hero was the snooker champion of England or whatever. And he said, I got to meet this guy.
What?
So I've got a letter somewhere that tells this story. And he said that I went to get his autograph, and he wouldn't give me an autograph. And he said, if I ever get famous, I will never say no to an autograph, is what Phil Collins said. So there you go. There's a
Wow.
little Phil Collins
That's
insight.
like
I know.
deep.
I know. But we've had some neat stuff anyway over the years.
It sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very cool.
That is amazing. And it's just a whole night of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's talk about some of the bands. Who are we going to see?
Well, you're going to see Shady Ray. You're going to see Too Smart to Crawl, Basement Collective, Good and Stout. You're going to see Hybrid Nation, which is a rock band. Toadstool Shadow, which is a guy and 2 girls that do these fun, quirky, original songs that they're very interesting, very cool. Sugarloaf Shakedown, which is a 3-piece like power rock band. Echoes of Appalachia, which is earthy Americana.
I was going to say, that
excellent,
sounds kind of
excellent,
folksy.
excellent
and-
band. And then, of
yeah.
course, the Mods are going to finish the show. It's just going to be a lot of... Even if you can just come for a half hour. Come for a
Yeah.
half hour, because you're going to see a couple of bands. In that half hour, you'll see a couple of bands and an auction segment. And we just repeat that throughout the
Literally
evening.
something for everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
And
All night long.
walks of life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, how do you get in? Do you have to buy tickets for this?
It's $10 at the door.
Oh, okay.
And all night long. People come and go all night.
Okay.
Just $10.
All right. So, I mean, or if you go at 4 o'clock or whatever, you get in and have
stay all night.
entertainment for
All
$10.
night. Yeah.
Well, you're probably going to buy something along
$10
the way.
for 10 bands. That's a buck a
band.
That's a buck a band.
That's a pretty good
All right,
deal.
that's a
I
pretty
mean,
good deal.
I'm not thinking you're going to get a much better deal than
Yeah,
that.
right. Of course, this Rock Candy Runyon band, 50 cents maybe. I don't know how high you want to go there, but
Yeah, we
the
might not
others-
put a high enough
the
dollar
others,
amount on
right.
them.
Scott
mean-
knows he's having a hard time booking them. He
Yeah.
said everybody else I can get gigs for, but I don't know about this. Rock
No, what
Candy
he said is, I
Runyon
Googled this
band.
Runyon band and I can't find them anywhere.
Yeah, they don't even exist anymore.
They don't
I mean,
exist.
we may have
But-
to put rock candy in with Big Deal.
Right,
You know,
that's right. Do like a combo package.
That's it. That's
Maybe a
it.
festival tour.
That'd be great.
Right.
I love this.
Yeah.
So tell us, are a lot of these bands local? Or are they from?
They're local, regional.
Okay.
Yes, they are. So they're going to be available to you, whoever might buy them.
Okay.
So they don't have to come down from Cleveland and go, oh, we can't do that gig because we live in Pittsburgh. No,
Right.
And these are all excellent bands with excellent hearts, and they are they're all in to help with the kids.
You know, and I think that they wouldn't be participating if they weren't big old softies like you are.
Yeah.
You guys are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very cool. We will also be live streaming this through
Okay.
the Rec W, which is a school. It's a music production school that we have.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to the Rec W on YouTube, you'll see all the stuff that we've streamed, and we'll be streaming the show there too. But don't stay home and watch it. Spend $10 and come down and be in the room. It's gonna be
That's
fun.
one of those you got to be there in person.
But sometimes people are. We've had some folks from Belgium last year watch it, so that's kind of fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay, and so 100% of the proceeds raised from this Rock for Tots concert is going to go to help a kid somewhere,
Sure.
somehow.
In Southern Ohio, in our backyard.
And so I mean this thing has gotten, and so John Pelletier was in the other day talking about the 60s concert a couple times actually. And we got to laughing because he's like, yeah, we typically raise a few $1,000s. We give it to Paul. And then magically, like $10,000 comes back to our area.
Yeah,
and I'm
right.
like, does Paul not know that that's typically not how that works?
Well,
There's something missing there.
we just.
But
love,
no, thank you
Yeah, of course.
for-
I mean, this
for what
is
you're
this is
doing.
why. Thank you for having us, and this is
Absolutely.
what makes all this go round, for sure. But we love to help everybody in our area, and it's been a real blessing to do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, it says 35 children's charities. Can you rattle them all off?
I can get a few of them for sure.
Couple of college scholarships.
Yeah, so
which is great.
yeah, we help probably 20+% comes back to Jackson County, and Pike County, Ross County, a lot there, Pickaway. Those are the main. Some down to Scioto.
Yeah.
And some organizations that we help service different counties as well. So it's a multi-county thing.
Exactly.
But the organizations are like we still work with the Chillicothe JC Special Santa Program.
And that's awesome.
So we still donate to
Yeah.
that. We work with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southern Ohio, which helps all the counties. We do the Child Protection Center. We do Shop with a Cop. We do local, like firefighters and EMS that have toy runs and coat drives and all of that.
Yes.
Wellston and John and Ryan
Yes,
Pelletier and Aaron
yep.
Dupree, all those guys come to mind immediately.
Our Jaffe members,
Jaffe-
that put on the
and
Apple Festival.
The Jaffe guys,
Yeah.
know, from Georgie to Brandon to Jason to all
Yeah,
those
all
those
of
guys
them,
that
yeah.
do that, we support what they do. So, and that touches so many.
Oh my
lives.
gosh. Yes. And I think, it's like work smart, not hard, right? And what I mean by that is, you're pushing your cart through Hearts in 1985 or
Right,
whatever, and you're
right.
thinking, these guys have it together. What am I doing here
Yeah.
doing this? I'm trying to reinvent the wheel. Let's give it to the people that already have this thing down pat.
Sure.
And you just keep adding organizations, which is amazing.
Yeah, which helps
So-
a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then we have the college scholarships. So you all have Printex in town now. The Jeff, who owns Printex, his dad was Jeff Marshall as well.
Okay.
So Jeff Marshall, the father, was the first person, and Dave Smith with B94. Both of these individuals, me and Tony Federici of our Rock Candy band, went to both of these guys, and we're going to do this charity, and we're going to raise some money, and we're going to rock and roll, and all this. And we were just spewing, we didn't know what we were doing. And Jeff Marshall listened, and he patiently listened. And after about 10 minutes of us just rambling,
I could just see this meeting.
He looks at he goes, wait a minute, and he looks at this person. He goes, just give them whatever they want. And for 40 years, these guys have given us all the programs, all the tickets, all the posters, all the everything.
Just give them whatever they want.
Just give them whatever they want. And that's what he did. And so when
that.
Jeff Sr. passed, we wanted to honor him, so we started 2 scholarships.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
You guys are just so awesome. This is such a good thing that
is a
you're
cool
doing.
thing.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, let's show off this guitar again
Let's do
because
it.
Right.
this is
Scott?
Yeah.
so cool. You want to, okay, so Scott, what I want you to do is go through some of these people, and I want you to tell us a little bit about what you know about these people.
Oh gosh.
You want to dish some dirt?
Dish some
That's
dirt.
what, I seriously like.
Well,
I
that'd be
think,
fun.
no, I
Yeah.
think
This should be
it's
great.
so
Rich
fun.
will love this.
No, isn't it fun to actually learn about these folks as a
No,
human
it's-
being and
it
not
is.
just what you
right.
see on CMT or something?
You know, the first one, the first one on the list there, there's really no dirt to be dished. Lainey Wilson.
Is she just as cute as you
She's
assume
phenomenal.
that I love
She's
her.
one of those artists that had worked so hard and lived in a camper trailer in Nashville for 8 or 10 years before she ever even had success. And, you know,
And then the next thing you know, you're on Yellowstone.
exactly. And
And then
How
you're
did
hosting
that
your
happen?
CMAs.
Yeah, and hosting the
But-
CMAs. How do you get on Yellow? How did that happen? Do you know?
Yeah, can you
I
get
think
us?
she
Can you
had-
get me on Yellowstone?
Yeah, can we get on?
You
All
guys
right,
better
I'll,
hurry
Yeah.
because I hear this is wrapping up.
this could be the end.
listen. I'll take on Teeter if I have to.
Okay, well there you go.
I have no clue how you get on Yellowstone.
Okay.
Other than I do know that Lainey had a friend that was a producer.
Okay.
I did hear that.
Okay.
But no, she's a sweetheart. And to be 100% honest, we did one of her first shows and it was in Spencer, West Virginia. And it was on the 4th of July. And she was the first person. They were in a van, a 15-passenger van, which was not close to where they're at now.
No.
But she was the first person out of the van to shake your hand, to ask you if you needed anything.
Love
you know,
that.
I'm 5'7", and she's a little shorter than me,
Well,
or at least it felt like.
yeah.
You know, but she's big things come in small packages, and her personality is phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about her
That's cool.
because she deserves everything she's getting.
Good deal.
Absolutely.
Love to hear that. That makes me happy because I really like her a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I get good vibes from her.
Don McLean that's on here. He's awesome. I mean, just phenomenal guy. Hall of Famer.
And every DJ from the 70s on has to thank him because they could go to the bathroom in peace.
Good point.
Just
American
saying.
Pie is what, 6 minutes?
So it's forever.
Yeah.
And he is single-handedly gave
you
DJs.
could go get a pizza.
You could. You could literally run down to the 7-Eleven and get some pizza and a drink and be back.
And what's crazy is it's sort of still the same. Like when he ends his show, it's like the Freebird version of American Pie. You know,
That's
it just
awesome.
keeps going, but it's just legendary.
Yeah. How do you not?
And it's even, I guess you have to be a music person because, you know, guys from the early 80s or late 70s, you know, lived it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm 36. So it was big and already coming down, I guess, as a kid, but still to see it and to see the people that lived it, it's
Yeah.
still special. You know,
Yeah.
it's still just as special now as it ever was.
For sure.
So yeah, that was a cool guy. Gosh, I wish there was some dirt.
No,
like-
we don't really need the That's
no,
good.
we,
say,
you
I
don't
gotta get some
have
dirt,
to.
but I
Tell
don't.
us, tell us some good stuff.
Oh man, well, just
Or
about
some dirt.
everybody, everybody on here. John Schneider, Bo Duke is on here. You know,
Nice.
I
which was
saw
cool.
him when I was a little girl. My dad took me and my cousin to Disney World, and he played on New Year's Eve.
Cool.
Wow.
And he played.
Did he come out in the car?
I don't remember. I was just little,
Yeah.
but I was Dukes of Hazzard girl, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see, Chris Jansen, you know, who had multiple number ones last year.
Yeah.
He's on here. The Eli Young Band.
Yeah.
Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery Gentry.
Yep.
He's here. Home Free is on here, which is the a cappella country group. Which if you haven't seen them,
No.
you definitely got to check them out.
Okay.
It's really cool. All vocals, and it's awesome.
So it's like Pitch Perfect, but real.
Very much so. Yeah. Countrified.
Right. Countrified. Pitch
Love
Perfect.
that.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Crowder for the Contemporary Christian.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, just phenomenal. And he's like 9 foot tall. So that
Sweet.
is really neat too. Yeah, you got to look up to that guy.
Yeah.
And speaking of tall guys, Trace Atkins.
I was going to say
is
him
on
and
here.
Trace Atkins.
Yeah.
They can,
Daryl Worley.
And Daryl. Yeah,
Yeah.
my goodness.
is he tall too?
Oh yeah, he's a tall
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Wasn't Toby Keith real tall?
I think
I saw him
not
in
as
concert
tall as
once.
those guys.
Yeah.
No,
I
no.
don't
Well,
think, but-
nobody's as tall as those
Right,
guys.
Right.
Yeah, those. It's shocking.
You're like, hi.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people see these guys, on TV or on stage or anything. You don't think anything of it.
No.
Especially guys that are short. You
Yeah.
think they're big, or likewise.
The Tom
But-
Cruise syndrome.
Yeah.
You're like,
But like,
I didn't know he
you
was,
s-
5
Or you
foot
see
tall.
somebody like Justin Moore, who's a smaller guy.
Yeah.
He really is. Like he's short, and I'm sitting there going, he is that short, but no, Trace Atkins is actually that tall.
Yeah, he's super
Daryl
tall.
Worley is actually that tall.
Yeah.
But both are excellent,
Cool.
and phenomenal guys. So
Good deal.
yeah, I mean, we
There's
could
a
talk all day
million
about
people on that guitar, and it will be, again, auctioned off
Right.
at your concert.
Friday, December the 6th in Chillicothe.
Be the coolest man cave item or
Oh, my God.
collector
or-
piece because
Or she shed.
or
Correct, correct.
she shed absolutely. So it's a good fit for anywhere, and it's for a great cause.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Very
Absolutely.
much.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I mean, that is like
cool.
so generous.
Yeah,
So
It's-
generous.
It's super special because it's going to these guys here. So
Love that.
helping a good cause, that's what it's all about.
Right
You
on.
got it. You got it. Well, guys, is there anything else you wanted to tell our viewers before I let you get out of here? Pete Wilson just walked in the door.
Pete!
We'll find out about some news, but it's so funny. Someone said, "Do you know Paul Pollard?" And I was like, Paul and I go way back. I think we met somewhere around 700 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Back when your station was downtown
Yep.
and your dad and all
Yep.
that.
The whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Right.
I'll bet you it was 20 some years ago.
Probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the same discussion with the Apple Festival guys and you and how long you been doing. How long have we been doing this? We were like, we don't know. Really.
I don't
we
ask.
Didn't, we didn't start. We didn't make a note when we started. We don't know.
Well, because you don't think about that kind of stuff,
Sure.
like because that's not why you start it. Like when you start doing something, you don't. It's not to say, well, I did it for 10 years or whatever.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not about you. It's about what you're
Right.
doing.
And you find yourself going, well, 15 years ago,
Yeah.
I guess it was that long
but
ago.
maybe was it 5 or was it? Yeah, I
You
don't
start
know.
going, now was it the Kentucky Headhunters or was
Yeah,
that
right.
the other band?
Who, by the way,
Yeah.
are super nice also.
Great
Absolutely.
guys. Yeah. Love
Absolutely.
those guys.
There's been a couple of bands that have come through here that
Mm-hmm.
I have. They can be temperamental too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are nice, but some can
Some
be
can be.
temperamental.
Yeah.
Confederate Railroad, they were super sweet.
Yeah, those guys are characters. Good characters.
Good characters.
Yeah. They let me on their bus and did an interview, and first thing they offered me was some bourbon. I'm like, I like these guys. This is great.
Can I try?
They were so fun. But anyway, well, no, seriously, get out to this concert. $10 gets you in the door. It gets you an entire night of entertainment. $10, 10 bands, plus every bit of the money raised goes to help our local kids.
Right.
Absolutely.
And if
Yes.
you don't think there's a need out there, what would you say to that?
There sure is. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're highly
Yeah,
mistaken.
and the stuff that they receive, these kids, it's not so much about a toy or a meal or whatever that is. It's actually, if you think about when you were in school and you went back to school after the break
Yep.
and somebody said, Scott, what'd you get for
Yep.
Christmas?
Yeah.
And you go, oh, I got this shirt.
Yep.
And you go, yeah, but what'd you get?
Yeah.
Now, if you can pull out a basketball or football or something that is,
I
now you kind of fit in. Now, it's,
Yeah.
it's
Christmas
it's
should not be a
different, man.
competition.
No.
and
Absolutely.
I
No,
I
but
was
it-
talking with our guest about that yesterday. Christmas should not be a competition. Should not matter who your parents are. It shouldn't
Right.
matter any of that. These kids all should be able to go back to school, be happy and proud,
Yeah,
and
have a little something.
whatever.
And,
Yeah.
something that, they can share and do some stuff with.
Yeah.
There was an artist once that I always looked up to as a kid, and it was always special because he did like Christmas style music, which is something not real special. His name was B. Taylor.
Okay.
And he was from the Wheeling area, and I got to know him really well and his family, and they were just above amazing. But he had a song called "Feel the Love of Christmas." And the lyrics in there was, feel the love of Christmas, it's never out of style, and feel the love of Christmas like a child. And that always was super special
Yeah.
because
That-
it doesn't have to be, what a lot of people think of it, but the heart of a child, man, that's
Oh,
that's
man.
where it's
something
at, man.
special.
You
And,
are not kidding.
Yeah.
And if you can give that something that makes it super special, and those kids will remember it forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank
thank
you
you
for
all
having
for
us.
what you're doing. It's
Thanks.
awesome, and keep it up.
We
And
will.
anything that we can do
guys
to
are great.
help. And
All
this guy is so humble because he has his hands in so many things too that we could have you back for a week and talk about all of it. But
Well,
maybe we'll do that sometime.
Maybe we'll do that.
We'll
All
do
right.
that. We'll
All right.
do that when the focus is not our kids.
There we
How's
go.
that?
How about that? That sounds great. Thank you for having us.
All right, it's our pleasure. Absolutely. All right, we have a message from our friends at Benton County Bank, and then Pete Wilson will be back on the other side of that.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Bye, guys. Thank you. And welcome back, everyone. We are here with our good friend Pete Wilson, who is here to tell us all of the latest and greatest in news. And, well, we always sometimes have good, sometimes bad. So
It's a mix.
what's going on, Pete?
Okay, well, let's start off with another suspicious fire. That
Wait,
is-
stop. Again?
This is a different one.
Okay.
Of course, we talked about the one in Jackson, the garage fire, highly suspicious. There at 301 North High Street. This latest fire that we're reporting on now happened in Wellston in the early morning hours of Tuesday. About 3 a.m. is when an off-duty Wellston police officer noticed the fire.
Oh, my,
It was at
okay.
an unoccupied house at 209 East 8th Street in Wellston. And that is a photo that we got that Wendy Wright gave to us. Taken that night while the fire was still going on. That house, unoccupied, it did have utilities hooked up. However, nobody was living there, and it was noticed there by the off-duty police officer who discovered the fire that the front door was open when. So that's suspicious.
That should be a sign,
Plus
huh?
the fact that nobody was in there. Heavy damage to the fire. The state fire marshal's office has been called in on this one. This is in a residential
sad.
neighborhood, of course, in Wellston, and so if anybody would have any information, might have seen something that at the time didn't think much of it, but now you know that there was this fire.
Yeah.
Contact the Wellston Police Department, and they can hook you up, or they will pass on the information rather to the state fire marshal's office. But once again, this was discovered at about 3 a.m. on Tuesday. The Colton, Hamden, and Jackson fire departments all assisted the Wellston Fire Department with that call. We had some initial information online. We didn't have the full report available from the fire department immediately, but we will be updating that story. Of course, we'll have it in our Saturday print edition.
Okay.
All right, well, let's talk about something good now.
Okay.
Okay, of course, the big Jackson County Cares food program benefit that was
Yes.
held last Saturday. Well, we collected information from that. We were in attendance there, as were up to 200 people here and there, because it was a long night with lots going on. But the final figure, and probably it's probably going to grow a little bit too as some related donations come in and more accounting is done. $7,500.
Well, that surpassed their goal, wasn't it?
In one night. Well, Tanya Hatton, our Tanya Hatton, of course, who was one of the organizers there, a real force for sure in organization.
Yep.
She was hoping for even more, but 7,500 in one night when they put this together in a little bit more than a week.
Like literally.
Was fantastic. And also what it's going to do, because people are aware that it happened, we're going to make sure that people are aware that it happened who don't know that it happened. Hopefully that will influence some other
Sure.
donations here going forward, because we're going to keep putting it out there through our total media outlets, the need, especially, this time of year. But it goes beyond just individual needs, during the holiday season, which I know
Yes.
everybody thinks of a little bit more
Yep.
during this time. It is an ongoing problem for the Jackson Food Program. We had Nancy Baisden here, last week about this time to talk about the benefit and also what they're going through. But they're gonna have to come up with some solutions. But the biggest one probably is just a lot of donations from a lot of people. You don't have to take the shirt off your back, but if there's some way you can help, whether it's with food donations so they don't have to buy as much, or it's with a financial donation that they can use however they need. Because remember, not only do they give away all this food to needy people in Jackson County, but they have to, they have a staff, they have to maintain a building.
Well, yeah,
They're at
that's not cheap.
They're at 323 Broadway, and as we all know, sounds trite, but it is true. Everything costs more these days.
Yes, it does.
And it does through charity as well. So anyway, I think, Adrian, you have some pictures to throw up there. We'll show you that it wasn't only a financially good night, it was a fun night with lots of entertainment, comedy, and music. This is Charlie Mannering. I had not heard Charlie before, but man, he can sing.
Oh, yes.
A lot of soul, a lot of different type of music or whatever. He was one of the entertainers there that night. Thirsty Pony, I don't have a picture of them, but they kind of ended the show. And it went well to about midnight, actually. And Brian Jarvis and his band did a great job as well.
Awesome.
And then Total Media's own Jay Stewart.
Yep. Snyder.
I'm sorry, Jay Snyder. Right. And that's the first time I heard Jay. And I tell you what, he had me laughing.
He's funny, yes. He's hilarious.
I enjoy comedy, but I'm usually not a laugh out loud type person. But he had me laughing there. I was taking that picture there, so I was pretty close. He had me in his dialogue there a little bit. But he did a very good job. You got to remember, everybody who donated, everybody who organized, everybody who donated coming in the door, it was a donation. They gave of themselves in some way.
Sure.
So, Jay Stewart did that, and there were also another 3 other persons that talked there before Jay and gave their own version of comedy. Our own Cheryl did that. Talked about all her menagerie of animals out there. I enjoyed that. Tyler Jenkins, Frank Dement. They all were before Jay.
Awesome.
So that was outstanding, and they gave away a lot of door prizes. I've got a car care kit. I think everybody got a car care kit.
That's awesome.
that was the Porter Ford dealership.
It's like
that was so
the
generous.
Oprah thing. You get a car and you get a car kit.
Right.
You get a car kit.
Right, so I guess I'll have to use it.
Yeah.
But that was just a door prize. But there was a silent auction with a lot of valuable gifts. I was very impressed, and you could get some great deals. If you weren't interested in helping anybody, or that was secondary, boy, you could come away with some nice things there in the silent auction. And also the Chinese auction. I think that's what you call it, where you put the tickets in the bag.
Yeah.
And they draw them out. They had so much there, and that goes to all these sponsors in there. And I tell you what, let's give Pete Wolford a lot of credit for coming up with that. He's a very humble guy, but he's the one that had the idea. He didn't know for sure what to do, and then he didn't know for sure how to do it. He knew he couldn't do it himself. So he got his son Brock involved.
Yep.
And he got our girl Tanya involved,
Yep.
which I think was key.
Absolutely.
But, it was a very nice evening. They had a nice nachos buffet there, too. So, very good. Very good.
Did Brock eat all the nachos?
I wasn't there to see. I don't know, Cheryl, did he eat the nachos?
He
If
said
there was any left, I have no doubt he was capable.
he said he was going to do 5 plates.
You know what? We left before he hit the nacho bar.
We'll see. Well, we made him promise that he wouldn't hit the nacho bar first. So
Well, he was pretty busy, so if he did, he hit it. I think he hit it later on.
Good deal.
But there was plenty. It was a plenteous night. Plenty of gifts, plenty of entertainment, plenty of food, plenty of good-hearted people there.
Yes.
And a lot of people stayed for the whole time, and they knew that they were supporting a good cause. It was a good social time as well there. Okay, now we're going to talk about something not so positive, but it's caused a little bit of conversation in town. At the last school board meeting, Superintendent Phil Howard made a report to the board, but his intention was to get this message out publicly. And there is Phil on the left. That is School Board President Brian Moore by him. And what Phil is talking about during that picture taken by Jeremiah Shaver, Jeremiah wrote up a very thorough article that was in our last Saturday's paper. Phil talked about, and this wasn't an easy thing to do because even if you're the superintendent of the schools and you're not elected, it's still kind of a political position, a public
Yes,
position
it
where
is.
you're accountable to the public.
Yep.
Well, he made a statement that he is not going to tolerate, and the school district is not going to tolerate what he called misbehaving, threatening parents in the schools. So, if you've got a
What?
right, if you've got a beef with the staff, you just need to show a little respect. Bring your opinion, your concern. You've got every right to do that, but there is no need to get angry. There's no need to be profane. There is no reason to be threatening. Now, what he said was, the message that he sent was, if you act like that and you're threatening and you won't calm down, he's going to kick you out of the school and you're not going to come back until he says you can. He's going to ban you from to make
Is
school.
that a thing?
Well, it is in Jackson.
What?
It is in Jackson. He says he has, and the bans are, they might not be total, but if you're banned, you're going to have to get permission to come to a concert or something where your
How
kids are involved. Because
embarrassing.
they put kids in the corner and give them detention. It can happen with parents or guardians or aunts or uncles or grandmas, I guess.
Yeah, but they're grown adults.
Right. But anyway, he has banned at least 4 people so far.
Oh my God.
And he will ban more
It's
as well.
not funny. I'm not laughing.
He will ban more as well. He wanted this out, and that was why he said at the school board meeting. And
I'm laughing at the absurdity that this is even a thing that we're talking about right
well,
now.
it's the bans can be of different lengths and whatever, and maybe you can apologize and get out of it or whatever, but he is trying to protect the staff as well. Because,
sure.
As time has moved on, and you're a lot younger than I am, but I've just seen a change in people's behavior overall. It was about in the 1980s, I talked to a school administrator. It was kind of a watershed decade, and this is what he said. And I know it's not as simple as this, but it resonated with me. Before the 1980s, if a child got in trouble at school, he got in trouble at home.
Yes.
After the 1980s, if a kid got in trouble in school, the parents blamed the schools and defended their child, which, I know sometimes you need to do that, but sometimes you need to accept that, your child needed discipline.
Isn't perfect.
And needed direction and like that. I mean, were any of us perfect growing up as kids?
No.
So, but anyway, this was the message
my
that Phil
gosh.
put out. Now, it got some response there, when we posted this out on our website and social media. But here, a lot of the response came in shares and in comments because it got shared by teachers. Teachers really appreciated this gesture by Phil Howard.
Okay.
So anyway,
Which means
that's a little bit of
probably a
that's a
need.
little bit of a different story, but it was
Interesting.
covered in our paper last Saturday. If you haven't seen that story yet, because it's a different type of story, different type of situation, kind of a general thing, not about some one incident that caused the police or whatever to come up to the high school or whatever. This is a general situation that he wanted to address, and whether you totally agree with his approach and publicizing it, I think it took courage to do it.
Yeah. Well, and he may be trying to be a little proactive too, and just trying to remind people to be civil.
Right, exactly. Civility should always carry the day. And I know we've just come through the political season, so but
Correct.
That's true, civility. All right, we want to remind you that the candy shops, the Jackson County Women's Club, candy shops are open. We want to show you pictures of where they're at.
Yes.
This is at 269 Bridge Street in Jackson. Not exactly across from Dollar General, but
Kind of catty corner.
Sort of, yeah. Right before the bridge. A very nice selection of candy there. Cheryl can testify to that. She was already volunteering time there. And then in Wellston, at 1024 South Pennsylvania Avenue, that is in the building where the Donna Summers Realty is. So I'm
Yes.
sure that she has accommodated the ladies. They are there as well, Monday through Saturday. So you got 6
Wow.
different days to buy candy. 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Jackson, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Wellston. And one other thing that I want to say, I want to make an apology. I'm not sure what I said on the air. I might have said this wrong on the air too. But when we did the story about the Jackson cheerleaders doing so well up there in Upper Arlington, winning the state championship, the coaches are Courtney Butcher and Tiffany Boggs. Well, there's a young lady named Tiffany Fout,
Yes.
who is the one of the coaches, along with Toria Brown,
Yes.
for the middle school girls.
Yep.
Well, I think I called Tiffany Boggs Tiffany Fout when I was talking about the Jackson High School competition cheerleaders.
Oh.
So
I didn't notice if you
well,
did.
Well, I may or may not have, but I did in the story and didn't even realize it. So anyway, apologies to Tiffany Boggs, because
Yes.
not only is she one of the coaches for a state championship team, but I understand that she is the one who comes up with the choreography.
She choreographs the stuff,
Right,
and man,
that
is she good.
That is something, and obviously with the track record they have,
Oh, my gosh.
those coaches know what they're doing.
Yes,
and
they
the
do.
And the girls then do the work.
Yep.
So anyway, hey, we've hit past 10 o'clock, so we had some good and bad. We had Paul Pollard in here talking about this wonderful concert coming up at
Absolutely.
the Majestic Theater. So, you know, that evening, make a night of it there in Chillicothe.
Absolutely. For $10, are you kidding me? 10 bands, $10, and a whole night of fun.
I don't know how they. I think they could ask more, but they want they don't want it to be prohibitive
It's
for a lot
exactly.
of people. Exactly.
Yep. So, all right. Well, thank you to everyone for tuning in today. We appreciate it. And we will see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks, Pete, for spending your morning with us. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.